Well, hi guys. Thanks for talking to me today. I appreciate it. I really enjoyed the series. Very, very funny. I found
Thank
myself
you.
laughing quite a lot. So, for each of you, what was it about your character that made you really connect with it? That you just had to do this project. We'll just go Jonathan, Johnny, then Efrain.
Thank you.
The writing, Mike Schur producing, Shay Serrano being the showrunner and the spearhead of the show. Yeah, for me that was the beginning and end of it. It was great, and the manifestation of it will be evident to anybody who watches the show. It's fantastic.
Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, it's you have such a powerhouse of a team behind this project, with Mike and Shay and Lisa and Peter, and there's so many, Morgan Sackett. There's just so many people that were involved in this that have made such amazing television, so it's almost like, please sign me up to just be anything on this, you know what I mean? Very grateful. And then Rolly and the character itself, so many elements of him just kind of being silly, a little goofy at times, but also sentimental and also being vulnerable as well. So I think that that's what makes him really cool.
Efrain?
Yeah, echo what my co-cast has said about working on Primo, the amazing experience that it's been, and extremely humbling to get to carry forward someone else's story and add to it, collaborate and tweak it. It's been amazing. Um, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it airing, and hopefully the other people see as much of the special pieces that were on set on the screen.
All right. Now, Jonathan, I just have to ask you because after hearing you talk, it makes me wonder, does your voice hurt after? I mean, your voice isn't that much different, but it seems like it would hurt talking like that a lot.
I did a lot of preparation, a lot of vocal preparation with the weeks before. My wife was constantly looking at me, going, "Can you please stop talking like that?" It's not that you just kind of get into a mindset and then you start talking like that person,
Okay.
and everything sort of takes care of itself.
Did she ask you to stop talking like that or to never stop talking like that?
What about the two of you? Did you do any like special preparation? Not obviously not like that, but anything specifically that stands out for either of you that you had to do?
Yes, the day before my audition, I grew a beard.
Okay.
I think you could have done a little better, to be honest
I
with you.
know, I tried, man. I tried. I did my best. Like, it was panic. I think a lot of us just bring a lot of whatever our own experiences have been to the character. Obviously, we're actors, we're not our characters, but
Right.
there are pieces of our own personalities, I think. And now that I've had the privilege and joy of meeting all of these amazing people in real life, I can see pieces of themselves in each one of the characters and pieces of their own personality that they bring to that role.
All right. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I think this Rolly was a sort of a character that kind of spawned from an acting class, and then it kind of developed over time, and I kind of tinkered with it more, and it was loosely based on a friend of mine that I went to high school with in Arizona, and I just kind of took elements of that and stuff that I kind of created, and I when I read the script, I sort of just dropped him into that world, and to me it just made sense. To me it fit, and there was obviously, like Efrain said, there's elements in all of it we do, and there's elements of me that are in Rolly as well, and vice versa. So I think it kind of shows.
Was it hard for you guys to, I want to say, kind of keep the energy up because you guys are always all at the same time, just talking and yelling, and was that kind of hard to keep going? And also to, I guess I want to say, talk over each other, but at the same time not, because you don't want to, you know what I mean? Like if from an acting standpoint, you don't want to always talk over somebody. How do you kind of, I don't know, how do you do that? I guess is the best way to ask that for whoever wants to answer.
We haven't really figured it out, obviously.
No.
Can no, I think it's just, I think it happens over time, right? You initially you haven't worked with people, but once you start getting more familiar with them, like you realize, especially in the writing, like, okay, like there's a joke here, like I'm actually just here to tee you up,
Mhm.
so I think there's, as a performer, you have to recognize those things and see, like, okay, this moment is about them, it's not about me. I'm just here to sort of facilitate it, um and then also trusting each other too, like that we're going to bring more than what's on the page. There might be an ad lib, there might be some improv that someone might toss in there. And I think being ready and prepared to like bounce things off of each other is what made it work.
Yeah, I know the one character called the Minions. I think that's probably the best the best description. So do you, the main thing kind of about the uncles is that they're giving him advice and everything. Do you three feel like you were kind of advising the young cast either on acting or just life or anything like that, like from a, outside perspective outside of the show?
I mean, if anything, I think for me, it would be reverse. I think I learned so much from everyone else. I don't feel like there was much wisdom on my part to impart on such amazing humans and such phenomenal professionals. So I think for me, it was much more. I got out of it a lot more than I put in.
What about for you guys? Did you feel the same, or are you kind of taking them under your wing?
I mean, I guess are we talking about the whole cast or specifically just the younger
Well,
one?
that's fine. Whole cast is fine.
Not necessarily. I think that because, everyone has worked a lot that's on the show. We've all worked on different TV shows. We've all been on different things. Christina has worked far more than I believe any of us, honestly. So I feel like there's nothing I can really say to her. You know what I mean? Other than like, just being grateful to be there and being prepared, being ready. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing, just trusting each other. We've all been there, we've all worked on different sets, we've kind of been around the rodeo. So now it's just like, can we just come together and get along? I think was the biggest thing. And we did.
Jonathan, what about you? Have you learned a lot from working on the show too?
Yeah, just being in this large an ensemble, I think, is in and of itself a learning experience. There are some similarities to being on stage, which I think I had some experience doing that, so that was helpful. And then just sitting back and watching everybody do their thing. Everybody brought such a specific and wonderful talent, comedic and dramatic talent to their roles. It was like a masterclass.
What though did you guys find difficult about the roles, if anything, just in general?
It was always a joy to be on set while shooting Primo. I think what can sometimes for me, one of the challenges was recognizing that there were so many people working so hard on this project, and ultimately all of it is leading long before the cast arrives. There are lots of crew members who are there who are going to be there long after the cast leaves, but everything is hinging on that moment between action and cut. And so recognizing the weight of that and honoring the weight of that and just bringing the professionalism that everyone else is bringing, and just recognizing that you're a small cog in this very complicated machinery. I don't think that was ever troubling, but I do remember feeling humbled by that process.
Yeah, the most challenging thing for me was not to break.
And you broke all the time.
Me? I broke all the time?
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't another John on set that broke all the time?
It's here. No, actually, the biggest challenge for me on this was feeling like I was too broad. I remember having this conversation several times with Shay, and when I was on set, I was playing this character, and I felt like I was being too broad at times, and I was really adamant about him being more grounded, and I really trusted Shay. Shay would tell me like, no, it's good. Like it feels like a real person. You know what I mean? Because that's what I was sort of worried about, that it wasn't coming off that way. And yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for me. But just trusting the right people around us, from our DP to whoever was directing the episode that day, specifically Shay, Lisa, and Peter, knowing that their voice was really what mattered, and guiding me.
All right. Now you made me wonder, Jonathan, you kind of mentioned this, but what about you, Efrain? Was it hard not to crack up while doing the scenes? Did you have that issue too, or?
No, I'm a professional. No, I have a hard time.
We can't. I broke them up.
Other
All right, just put it out
other
there.
actors who
I
shall
broke
remain
the most.
nameless have hard times.
The most.
Hard.
All
It
right.
was hard not tugging on that beard to see if it was real.
It's true. I'm thinking his face is gonna pop out and start talking, you know?
That's funny. All right. Well, we're out of time, but thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I watched it all last night and laughed a lot. So I really
That's
enjoyed it.
great. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Jamie.
Thank you so
Have a good
much.
afternoon.
You too.